called Humanity Matters. Well, my country, the United States of America, matters also. Freedom matters. And ladies and gentlemen, I come to you today to inform you that America is losing its freedom. That we are losing our civil rights. Now, I know there are some out there who don't believe this. I know that there are some out there that says it's only people who are radical. Well, to that I say, one, you're kidding yourself. Two, you are living in a delusional world. You see, it is not us, the so-called radicals, who are wrong. It is you who choose not to believe it. Now, let me make you upset. You might think, oh, this guy is a Weisenheimer. Well, guess what? Anybody could come on here and say whatever they want. Any video camera. But see, I don't just say things, I back it up. That's what you cannot deny. When somebody backs it up, you cannot deny it. And you are forced to either continue to be delusional and live in a delusional world and a fake reality, or you have to make decisions. Do you care about your civil rights? Do you care about what every man who's ever fought for this country and died for this country? You have to decide. Do you care about what they died for? You know, my job as a cable access host, or frankly as an American, is to bring forth the truth. Then it's up to you to help us change it back to what it once was. Now let me make this clear. There are millions of women who have fought for this country and who have died for this country. But the majority, from the beginning of our country, the majority of soldiers were and still are men. I speak of way back before the American Revolution, were men. The Civil War, and so on and so forth. WW2, which you probably have relatives that were in WW2. Or you probably have deceased relatives. All those men, including George Washington, Abe Lincoln, these guys that cared about the Constitution, that cared about America. Okay, Washington and, great men like, Jefferson, these kinds of people. And lightweights like that. Radicals. You see my point? I'm mocking it. But here's the thing. These guys fought and died for the cause of freedom. Now, I just said some pretty wild stuff, didn't I? I said we're losing our freedom. Prove it, Turcaso. That's me, by the way, if you didn't already know. All right, I'll prove it. I just came from the library in my home city. I went to a website that sells mainstream non-pornographic items. All right? Wanted to access it. Couldn't access it because it's on a list. Okay? Because some of their items are adult material, which, by the way, you have to go through a series of things to access those items. I wanted to look up the price of a DVD. Couldn't do it. I was censored. Freedom gone. Under the guise of protecting our children. I love it when they try to protect us by censoring us from freedom. You know, I would rather my child accidentally stumble across something, come home to me, say, "Dad, I saw this terrible thing," than to say no law-abiding, over 21-year-old American can access a site that's not even pornographic. Our forefathers would never have approved of that. Okay? No. Okay, you're saying, that's no big deal. What is a big deal, starting in the very near future, is every American, you who's asleep, you also get to carry around a national identification card. You get to not be able to get a loan. You get to not be able to even travel out the country, or maybe even state to state. You can't get a driver's license. You can't do this, you can't do that without your national ID card. That's what you get. And why? Under the guise of protecting us. Let me tell you something. And this is to the politicians who have all of a sudden put all these freedoms and civil liberties on the back burner, and who are taking away our freedom. And I'm going to say the word, making us a fascist country. I have something to say to you. Okay? This is for you who think you're protecting us. I'm going to say this so you can hear it and so you can see it. Look close. I don't want you taking away my freedom under the guise of protecting me. I will protect myself. You let me keep my freedom. You let me access whatever I want on the internet, because guess what? I'm over 21 and I can decide, okay, what's right and what's wrong. But you're not going to keep restricting the American people, because eventually people are going to wake up. It's time to wake up, America. Now, here's the good thing about it. November the 7th, 2006 is about almost a month away from now. You can vote in people who believe in the Constitution, who believe in by and for the people, who do not want to decide to put all these restrictions on your life. You can vote. November the 7th, 2006. You better vote. Your freedom is being taken away. By the way, they're trying to get rid of public access. They're trying to put huge restrictions on the internet. They already decided that if you gamble on the internet, it's illegal for you to pay your debt off by a credit card. Yeah, they're trying to protect you from gambling. It's funny. I don't see them protecting me from playing the Powerball. Oh, I don't see them protecting me from going to a church, spending all my money playing bingo. Oh, I noticed that they haven't protected me from playing our state lotteries. But when it comes to gambling on the internet, where they can't get all the money, apparently, oh, you're not allowed to do that. That's right, it's illegal, ladies and gentlemen. Another restriction of freedom. But you know, hey, I'll tell you what, there's a lot more freedom restrictions and assaults on our Constitution. Like, for example, now if you speak out against the government, you can be tried as a terrorist, an enemy combatant. You might even be put to death and tortured. All in America in 2006, thanks to our friendly neighborhood jerks. So, if you love your great-grandfather, if you love your great-uncle who fought for the cause of freedom, if you care about your descendants who may have fought in the Revolution or the Civil War, all in the cause of something called freedom, if you give a dang, you got a job to do. You need to get out there and you need to vote November the 7th, 2006. You need to vote in May 2007, in November 2007, May 2008, November 2008 for a new president of this country. And after that, you need to vote in May 2009, November 2009, May 2010, November 2010, and so on and so forth, because your freedoms are disappearing. And when I can't go into the library to look up the price of a DVD player because of some stupid law meant to so-called protect our children, which, by the way, doesn't, Because I guarantee you, your children know how to get rid of the filtering. I guarantee it. You don't believe me? Find out what your kid knows. Have him or her take a test. You know, our children are learning computers at very early ages in schools. And now, since they do know how to get rid of these filters, are we now going to decide maybe our children should never learn on the computer because maybe it's too dangerous? Is there going to be a law protecting our so-called law protecting our children in the very near future saying no child is allowed access to a computer at all under the age of 18? Are we going to do that too? Because as long as our children have access to a computer, they can access anything they want. I don't like them doing that. Don't make a mistake about that. But you do not get rid of freedom for every American based on a possible threat. You do not get a national ID card for every American to track down every American. You don't spy on ordinary citizens. You don't have ordinary citizens possibly accused of terrorism when they are honest, law-abiding, patriotic Americans. You just don't do that. That is not the United States of America that we have always lived in. But now, this Congress, and I'm going to be partisan, this Republican Congress, who has been in power in Congress since 1994, they are the ones who have been putting all these restrictions in place, taking your freedom away.